This week we've seen a spike in violent crime and particularly shootings. Starting this past Monday, the last day of the Memorial Day weekend, we had 5 different shooting scenes in our city where 9 people were shot. That in and of itself is unacceptable. So whenever we see a spike of violent crime like that, immediately we start doing an analysis to determine exactly what caused that spike. And what we've determined so far, some of these cases are gang related or have some type of gang component. So that's why we immediately involved our San Joaquin County Gang Task Force, our community response team officers, that's our street enforcement team, to be deployed in these high crime neighborhoods where these shootings are occurring, because we know a high visible police presence will hopefully deter any type of retaliatory shootings from occurring, because whenever there's a gang on gang war possibly starting up or continuing, we know there's a potential for retaliatory shootings, and that's what we don't want for these neighborhoods. So when we're doing this analysis and deploying our resources, Tuesday night we saw 2 homicides occur. The first homicide, unfortunately, was at the subway, and an employee, a 43-year-old man, was shot and killed during a commission of a robbery. During the middle of that homicide, we had the second homicide occur in a 200 block of East Sonoma, where it appears 2 roommates were fighting with each other, and during the altercation, one roommate pulled out a gun and shot his roommate several times, and after being shot, that roommate grabbed the bat and struck and killed the roommate who shot him. So that case right now, we're still investigating it. We're going to get all the facts, and once we finish with that investigation, we're going to refer that to the DA's office, just because there could be some type of self-defense in regards to that case. So right now there's no arrest pending. So right after that case was wrapping up, then we got the great information, the critical information, on where the homicide suspect from the subway up in Lodi on a ranch near Kettleman and Alpine. So immediately, once we figured out the suspects possibly at this house, we deployed our officers, our SWAT team, to secure the area, because he was still considered armed and dangerous. And anytime we have a person like that, the best officers, the best teams to deal with that is definitely SWAT officers. So once they secured the area, they started to make announcements inside the residence, and they could never establish communication with the suspect, but then it was later determined the suspect was outside behind the residence, hiding underneath a tarp. So our SWAT team and officers went over there, arrested him without incident, and then during an immediate search of the area around the tarp, they located a firearm. So we were very fortunate that our homicide detectives worked around the clock to determine where the suspect was, got that critical tip. And in any type of homicide investigations, once you get a tip or a lead, you have to follow up on it. And in doing so, led to the arrest of the suspect in the subway homicide.